So fast! So fast! Hello, everyone! Welcome in! Hello, hello! It is so great to see you. Oh, the webcam's going a little bit off. What's going on here? Webcam? Webcam? Sometimes this happens, and sometimes it gets better, and sometimes it doesn't. Let's see. What would you... That? No, is that... No, it's not gonna fix it. Oh, goodness. Is it this? Is that the problem? Is it... The gain is, like, ridiculously high? Why is the gain so high? That's a little bit better. Okay, let's try that. Hello, everybody. Welcome in. Congratulations, Virite, for first. Good to see you, Code Cuber, Virite, Karzes, Cubus, Darimo. So great to see you all. Darimo, have you continued work on your jam submission, by the way? I know you were kind of thinking about that and planning on it. So great to see you all in here. Cubus, how's it going over at Bippin Bits? Has that kicked up yet? And let's see, Virate, are you in my spreadsheet? Because you're here all the time. You've got to be working on something, right? I don't have you in my spreadsheet. What are you working on? Don't hide. Share with the class. What are you up to? And CodeCuber, how are you? Are you in my spreadsheet? You're not in my spreadsheet either. What are you working on? What are you doing nowadays? What's driving you forward? Oh my gosh, it is so good to see you all here. I love getting to be here with you. I love all of you. Thank you for being here, and all of you hanging out in the shadows. Thank you for hanging out. Appreciate every single one of you. I'm so excited about today. So excited about today. Yes and no, I need to shift my priorities to finding a job. I hear that. I definitely hear that. Are you looking for something in tech? Going well, fixing up modding support at the moment since Godot 4 decided to not like what we did anymore. Oh, hey, that's cool. That's great that you're getting into code, because I thought you were going to be mostly a community manager for a little while. So I'm glad that they're kind of working you in already. That's tremendously exciting. Big congrats. Oh, man. What a great time. What a great time. What a great day. So today's a great day. Today's the day we're going to be announcing all of the details around Fox Hollow Jam 3. Everything. Share with the class, he says. Soon, no rush. Fair enough. You don't have to, but I will be actually dying in anticipation. It's been more than a month already. My goodness. Has it really? My goodness. Wow. I barely get any reaction on applications I apply to looking for tech stuff. Currently have an IT support role to where I'm expecting a reply from since I had a conversation with them last week. Man, best of luck, Darmo. It's tremendously difficult right now. I'm rooting for you, is all I can really say. That is, I mean, I'm right there with you. Every other time I've had to look for work, I've spent a maximum of 3 months and end up with a better title and a pay raise. And this time around, it's been months and months and months of applying, not a single interview. And it's brutal out there. It's absolutely insane. And I dearly hope 2025 holds some better times for everyone. But if there's anything we can do to help support, just reach out. We'll do everything we can. CV review win. Yeah. Yeah, would people be interested in that and doing CV and resume reviews and portfolio reviews and stuff? That could be nice as a community to kind of knowledge share and support each other. Mothman adding a special hat. Do you want? Oh. Mushroom, witch's hat, or fairy hat? You get to decide. With all those precious points you just spent. How much is add a special hat? What have I set this to? 1,000? Well, that's decent. That's a decent chunk. That's a decent chunk of change. Witch hat, you got it. You got it. Woo! Share that CV in the Discord. I may be able to give some tips. Do redact the personal info though. People keep forgetting. Yeah, don't put your phone number. Don't put your address online. Yeah. Well, Kiwas, that's very, very kind of you to offer that. It's also just really demotivating to apply to stuff which specifically mention no experience required, then getting an automated reply based on your CV, you lack experience. Yeah. So I was talking with a recruiter the other day, and they said most companies nowadays are using AI solutions to parse through resumes, and which is not necessarily a new thing, right? But what was new to me was that they will have rules set up to automatically reply to the top 15% of that AI review. And then the rest of them get automatic rejection emails. And I'm not going to lie, that is completely infuriating to me. I have half a page dedicated to AI keywords in my CV. Yeah. It's infuriating. And I understand that hiring managers are being put under a tremendous amount of pressure because anytime they open up a position, they're getting hundreds, if not thousands of applications every single time. But it also means that humanity is gone, right? Like there is no connection there. And so if you do not appease the AI overlords, like you're saying, Cubus, you're dead in the water. Last few gigs I did were because of direct messaging, hiring agents, employers, and face-to-face. Yeah. So before the layoff madness hit, 80% of jobs were found through relationships. I have to imagine that number has skyrocketed since the layoff madness. I was thinking about putting the ignore previous instructions. I've heard of people doing that. I don't recommend it, but I have heard of people doing that. From what I understand, that became viral and they kind of figured out how to work around that, but I'm not totally sure. Current job is a result of replying to a message on a Discord, which was a job posting directly from the founder. There you go. There you go, Virite. Alamad, yes, date is still the same. We have custom CSS this time. That's part of what we're going to be doing today, is going through the process of how do you request custom CSS and everything. I want to do everything with people today so that we all learn how to do this in case you want to. Chaos Machines, good to see you. What's the jam? We are going to be talking the details of the jam today about, we've already announced the dates. It's November 1st through 9th, and then our gauntlet version of the jam is the 1st and the 2nd. But we're going to be talking even more details. Who's the sponsor? Why are they sponsoring? The special rules this time around. We're not going to do the theme. Not going to do the theme quite yet, but it's going to be a good time. Always keep in mind you have way more experience than the official work experience. Seriously, game jams give you so much. Many keywords too. That's a good point. It's a good point. And I haven't brought those in at all. I have started sending around my itch page as like a supplementary portfolio to game positions, right? I'll send like my B2B enterprise UX position, and then I'll say like, this is for my professional UX experience, and this is for my game related experience. CVs will be sanitized before being processed. Part of that can be identifying font size, white color text at the footer of the CV. Yeah, exactly. So definitely, if you don't, have two versions of your CV or your resume. One is that you hand to an individual, a person, and that can look very nice and be well formatted and stuff. And the other one is plain text. That's the one you send to job applications because that's what the AI is going to read. And there is nothing more infuriating than being a perfect fit for a position, knowing you're a perfect fit for a position, sending it in, getting rejected, and then feeding your resume into like an AI reader and seeing that it says your work experience is Utah and you went to school at product designer. Like it just completely gets everything wrong, right? So get something plain text that's boring to look at, submit that in, and then submit your stuff for the for the humans. Copying this message on jams I wrote a bit ago. Sure, I can work under pressure. Look, I made a full freaking game in a week. Has a lot of stuff they want to see too. Interaction design, UX, and visual design, development under hard time constraints, coordination, prioritization. Sure. The ability to carry out a project from start to finish. Heck, it could even be, I can get people on my team. I can work with a team to create something. I can get attention on my projects. Look, my project got rated it was one of the top rated games of all time. So that wasn't just because of the game. I had to go out and like talk to people, encourage people, and win people over at stakeholder management, right? All that sort of stuff. So Tiny Devil, good to see you. Yes, you did hear Jam 3. Absolutely. Absolutely. We're talking the deets today. I know I hate getting rejected on job interviews. Yeah. Well, I mean, if you're getting interviews even, that's great in today's climate. Plain text is an interesting one I've not thought about yet. Yeah. Call at half past. Sounds good. All right, sounds good. So yeah. If there's some interesting, if there's people that would find that valuable, I'd be more than happy to create a sort of feedback channel on our Discord for resumes and portfolios. In fact, I think I'm going to do that. I think that would be a good thing. let's get that set up. Let's see. Let's do not in random. I guess we could do game dev. Mr. Bra, Alamod, thank you for that custom CSS request example. Appreciate that. Let's go ahead and we're going to make a new channel. This is going to be resume and portfolio feedback. Howdy, folks. Feel free to drop your resumes / CVs and portfolios here for feedback from the hive mind. Be sure to include what sorts of positions you are applying for in your message and any specific feedback you may be looking for. I think that's a great idea. All right, cool. Put side projects and jams on your dev CV. It deserves that spot. Fair enough. Fair enough. Very cool. All right. I love that. I think that's a great call. I'm excited for that. Let's make it happen. Woo. Rubai Bros. Good to see you. How you doing? I mean, I'm glad you're alive. Little upsetting you only think so, but I'm glad you're alive. That's great. Okay. So, this was Fox Hollow Jam 2. We loved it. It was a grand time. We made some great new friends. Lots of prizes were given out. Once again, big thank you to Sundown, Alistios, and Riverwolf Games for your patronage and sponsorship. Absolutely incredible. It's time for Fox Hollow Jam 3. It's time for Fox Hollow Jam 3. Are we ready? Are we ready for some details? Should we chat? Chat? Let's do this thing. Whoa, that's a white flash. Jeez, Figma, come on. Give us a dark mode already. They've been doing so many weird things. Figma's cool, but boy, are they getting a little too big for their britches. That happens every single time there's... every single time that there is a monopoly. It just ends up not very good. Okay. I look forward to the next small targeted app that solves some problem for design and then eventually becomes bloated to all infinity when it becomes the de facto standard. Great. Let's do this thing. What did we do for this one? It was this guy. Here we go. Fox Hollow Jam 3. I'm going to add the stroke. And then the stroke will be this white. Rotate. Actually, it's kind of an interesting positioning. Like, what happens if we just kind of scale it up, you know? Oops. Like, really big. Maybe put it in the background or something. I don't know. Penpot is a great FOSS Figma? What does FOSS mean? Penpot. Build a prototype. No, your design hub. Best prototyping software. Design is expressed as code. I've heard a lot of people moving over to Framer full time. I tried Framer 7+ years ago. It was pretty difficult, but maybe they've made some big strides here. Free open source software. Ooh, okay. I like that. And honestly, this seems pretty nice at first blush. It's definitely got aesthetic usability effect going for it. As someone who's recruited and interviewed hundreds of people in my previous roles, I would absolutely say to put your personal projects on your CV. I would favor someone with an interest and a passion over someone with a qualification every time. Well, there you go. Very fascinating. Thank you, Tiny Devil. I didn't really have time to work on Demoliforce or any game. Well, that's okay. You're young, you know? You gotta shift your priorities every now and again. Kind of looks like the M is supposed to be cubed back to size and scale like the GMTK jam. Terrible, I can see that. Prodigal, good to see you, friend. Welcome in. This is cool. I mean, this seems really good, actually. For free and open source, I mean, it looks like a lot of a copy of Figma, but I love this auto layout that they've got going. I love those tabs. That's great. This is looking good. I like this a lot. Wow. I'm not seeing any big names other than Blender, and that makes sense. Cisco. Okay, Cisco uses it. That's a big deal. Mozilla. I don't really know much about Mozilla's corporate structure to say, yes, that is a good thing or not, but very interesting. I'll have to take a look at that. Thank you. I have good news and some interesting news. Tell me. You said the good news yesterday, that you hit 100 sales, right? What's the interesting news? I trust God knows what is best for me, and transferring is not the right thing right now. I was told I need more JavaScript. Oh, bummer. I'm so sorry, Prodigal. Oh, I'm so sorry. So they just want more JavaScript experience? Good, no need to be sad. Well, bless your heart. That's great to have that sort of a mentality about it. You're mainly back end. Oh, it seems weird. Unless they're looking for like a real wizard to lead out on a whole bunch of projects, it seems weird to disqualify someone for something like that. Because JavaScript is definitely teachable within a pretty short amount of time. Unless they're needing dramatic like optimization craziness. But even still, if you have a pretty strong developer with a good sense of how to develop, and it's not like you don't have a lot of front end stuff in your game dev work, right? I don't know. Seems weird. But you've got a good attitude about it, and that's going to work out really well for you. I'm glad to hear it. Thank you for filling us in and letting us know what's going on. Appreciate it. Perhaps dodge a bullet. If they can't understand, it's easy to learn one language if you know others. Yeah, I agree. That's a weird part. It's supposed to be full stack, but I think they were being nice to me and told me more JavaScript when they meant more smarter engineer. Oh, man. I don't know about that. I mean, I've seen the work that you produce. Granted, not in like an enterprise experience, but given that you're an internal candidate, and you've been working for the company for a long time, your previous managers have said, we want to promote you, right? We want to get you there. I don't know. You never know what goes on behind closed doors, and that's why it's always hard working in these larger companies. But I would be surprised if it was your qualifications in terms of your skill set that were the conflicting issue there. But you never know. Is blue your signature color for your channel and other stuff? No, Super Robi Bros. Honestly, our signature color is black and white. That's what our logo is. And it's been a big problem. I need to powwow with, or I need to chat with WifeQuest, because we need to come up with some real strong branding guidelines and that are expandable. Because we came up with this logo ages ago, and it doesn't have a whole lot that we can bring in. It doesn't have secondary colors. It doesn't have any of those sorts of things. We need to get online with all that. On an unrelated note, why is the Figma website preview so poopy? It forces that tiny device frame around it and can't be viewed as a full page. Are you talking about like the prototype view? Like if we go to here and say preview. This? Is this what you're talking about? Because you can do actual size, but they can also do like fill screen. And you can also hide the UI, right? So maybe I'm not talking about the same thing you are, though. Send me this banner when it's complete. I have something to show you. Okay, fair enough. Thank you, Alamad. I think I messed up in the system design. It's been a while since I did large-scale system design and needed a refresher. Oh, man. Well, best of luck. I'm sure it'll work out. I'm sure that they'll, you're on a trajectory, even if you can't see it, and it's going to work out. Glad to hear that you're handling it very well. Want to stream and be a part of this somehow? How can I help? That'd be lovely. I mean, if you want to stream your development, that would be fantastic. Some big things that we need help with, frankly, I'm going to ask for everyone's help here today, is we need to level up this page, because this page has been functional, but Is it like these pages? No. Is it like this page? No. I need to get looking like a big boy page. That's the big thing that I need a lot of support on. So any thoughts people have while we're doing this or outside of it, feel free to send me a message on Discord directly or through the channel, whatever. I want to hear it. We want to make this a big, wonderful production. Incredibro, good to see you. Yes, Fox Hollow Jam 3. What are the days so I can ask for time off to stream playing Peeps games and when you are not streaming, so I stream then. You're incredible, Prodigal. So, the dates are November 1st through 9th. Move this to Railway. So this is the main dates for the main track. And then we're going to do the Gauntlet track first and the second. Those are the dates. Those are the dates. Maybe change the color every jam? We could. We totally could. That's not a bad idea. From this scene's background, it seems like the red, blue, and black. Yeah, no, on the stream. That's a good point, because I have been wanting to, like, bring a lot more stuff that I am passionate about into our branding, and, like, I'm deeply passionate about comic books and superheroes and all that sort of stuff. So I would love to make it feel more like a comic book. In fact, that's kind of part of the idea around these panels is I want to find a way to make it feel like we are watching a comic book. And so it'd be cool at some point to do a Godot shader, a Godot overlay, and build a kind of dot scan printer shader and cell shader and stuff on top of everything. That would be very, very fun. Did they lock fill screen behind premium? I don't know. Prototyping might be a premium feature. I mean, they're moving more and more and more into premium. It's astounding me how heavily they're strong-arming people into signing up for premium. I'm telling you, I'm getting more and more disappointed in Figma, and like Penpot seems really interesting. I'm not gonna lie. Why not something similar to what Nekdos had? For a background, I don't follow Incredibro. Drums, great to see you. Welcome in. The one you wanted, the shirt print. Yeah, and that's all of Nekdos' stuff. So we do have like this kind of very subtle background. I think it's too subtle. And I threw it together in like a heartbeat just because I was like, I don't want a plain background, right? So it's got this kind of dot pattern, but it's not great. You know, we need to swap it up. Fox needs a nice looking jam page. Can you help him? He's helpless. Can lend you drums for a short time for the right price. Drums, how do you feel about that? You're being loaned out. You're being rented, drums. Only if I get paid in mustache grooming. I love it. Gauntlet is only 2 days this time. Yes, Gauntlet is 2 days. We're shortening it by 1 day. Yep, 48 hours. A lot of that jam page is from the background image, by the way. I like those borders. These? Yeah, this is the background image. So if we investigate it, right? Let's see, where do we find this background image? I mean, it wouldn't be in the body. It'd be over here. Aha! Yes, there we go. There it is. That's the image that they're tiling over and over and over again. I can let him borrow drums for a while, but I need him back for the jam. Give me 4 hours for the gauntlet. There you go. I've honestly thought about that. One concept for a jam I really want to do later on is like get a winning project from a previous jam. And that is now the project everyone has to work with. And you get 24 hours and your job is to like spice it up as much as you possibly can, right? It's like a polished jam. See how much polish you can cram into a project that already exists within 24 hours. I think that could be a lot of fun. It would have to be a project that is like really well made though. That is super solid, technically speaking, and you know, and maybe it would have to not be a part of the previous jams. I don't know. I just think that's an interesting idea. You start getting into sketchy territory where it seems like you're doing free labor for someone, and you want to avoid that, right? But you can also check the dev tools for how they did it. Sure. Bro, stealing the design. Are you new to the stream? That is the hollow part of Fox Hollow Games. Stealing designs! Love that idea. Wait, that does not make sense. Golf Breaker Jam. There you go. I mean, I'm pretty OG. Yeah, Reviver has been around for a good while. Did I hear Hollow Jam 3? Yes, you did, Jack. Yes, you did. We're working on the itch page right now. I did try Jam once. 3-hour game jam. Didn't quite make it in time. 3-hour game jam. That's brutal. That is absolutely brutal. Oh yeah, we need to get this up and running. In fact, it should be up and running. Maybe StreamerBot is broken, but it's got an old message, so we need to get that fixed too. I also like the idea of a feedback jam. Just a week to submit a project that already exists and a week of rating other people's projects and giving such practicing feedback. Yeah, I've wanted to do like an iteration jam for a really long while because I love that idea. I love the idea of, because that is the hardest thing that people tend to experience. Two main difficulties when it comes to making their own games. It is one, coming up with ideas, and two, finishing ideas. This is like a big creative block for people, but the finishing the idea, in my opinion, is the largest obstacle to getting something built. Oh, okay, sounds good, Prodigal. Thanks for hanging out. So I want to do something to try and support that skill set and encourage people and push them forward. I've seen a couple of jams like that, and I just need to find a way to make it a little more unique and engaging. Might actually be motivated for this one. Nice, Jack! Did that too, but it's kind of silly because you can have more teammates and you each get 3 hours. Oh, interesting. All right, the bot is down. There it is. Yeah, I went solo with no pre-made assets. Got close though. Nice, very cool. Okay, we are jumping into ads. We're gonna pause real quick. Be right back, and we're going to work on. I should not worry about this too much. We're gonna keep working on like the substance of the page. We'll be back. Okay. Revibros. Yes, of course you can eat jam while you're doing the jam, but only if the jam is toe jam jam. That's it. All right. Not jammed, stoked. Why is that 3 subscript? Well, that's the way that the second one was. And I thought, well, we can maybe keep the same sort of idea here, but I don't know. This, we visual design, graphic design, as much as we talk about it on the stream, is really not my strong suit. If someone like Drums came in, if someone like I've got a friend in the neighborhood who does professional graphic and branding design came in, they would make this a billion times better in a heartbeat. Even that's rough, trying to fit in the conversation alongside the dev. Yeah, that's fair. I mean, you've got more connection points, right? There's that great collaboration diagram of, oh, where is it? I'm looking. Okay, so the idea behind the diagram here is you have one person, that is all the communication that needs to happen. If you have two, now you have two people that are communicating with each other, right? So you have two pathways of communication. If you add in a third person, now you're having to do all of these different pathways to start connecting and making sure that everyone's aligned. And each of these lines goes both way. And you can start to see how this is going to get pretty ridiculous pretty quick. If we go to 4, now everyone is having to, and then we go to 5. Ryun, welcome in. It just starts getting insane. So that is a very real cost to things. Welcome in, Ryun. 2K, how are you doing today? Welcome in, all you fine raiders. My name is Joe. This is Fox Hollow Games, and we are building the itch page for Fox Hollow Jam 3. We've done Fox Hollow Jam 2. We're going to try and learn from other incredible jam pages to build something that just makes you think, I can't but sign up for this jam. We also wear silly hats in here. Welcome in. It's great to have you. Ryan, what were you up to? Hope you're doing well. Calvinator was taken. Le present. Green Kitty present. Great to see you all. Welcome in. It's mostly 2 devs and other teammates were kind of dummy teammates only for hours. Oh, that's the way it goes. Incredible, isn't it? Lazy Fin 0. Thank you so much. Appreciate you for the follow. I hope you're doing well. A lot of shenanigans. Good. That's exactly what I'd expect from you, Ryun. For those of you who don't follow Ryun, definitely go give him a looky-loo. What were you up to today, Ryun? Let's see here. Oh, you're highlighting Foolbox, of course. Yeah, how was school today? This is what Ryun gets up to on their daily basis. They build this insane overlay where it's a school, and it just gets wackier and wackier and wackier. Oh, shoot. Can I join your jam and try to make a game and then give up like usual? Absolutely. Dew on the grass. Hello. Happy time zone. Love it. Bean. A ton of shenanigans in class. I made a redemption to time yourself out for a period of time, and I half finished a timeout corner. Are you gonna put like a dunce cap on? Because that'd be fantastic. Speaking of Foolbox, got my custom ball, which is basically Incredibles logo. Wow. Wait, did you do the base version of the custom ball, or did you get the 50,000 point one? I'm saving up for that, man. I need to get a stream up of his and just leave it on 24/7 so that when he jumps on early in the morning, I'm dealing with kids, I actually still get the points. Someone gifted it to you. Wow, that's crazy. So as a reminder, for those, I think we had some people asking, the jam is going to be November 1st through the 9th. And then our gauntlet version of the jam is 1st and the 2nd, 48 hours. So we'll have 48 hours for the gauntlet track, and then a full, a week and a day for the full track. Create a jam game which serves as an invite to the jam. This is very much a thing in the demo scene where demos are made as invites to the demo party. What? That sounds incredibly meta. Do you have an example of that? I'd be fascinated to observe that. The name Incredible helps a lot there. Are you sticking with that, Incredible? Or are you going to move back to Incredibro when the cooldown timer goes over? What's Gauntlet? Like a special version? Yeah, so the main track, we've got it up here. The main track basically is the jam as you're familiar. It is, you can have teams, you can have any assets that you have the legal right to use. You have to get it all done within the time frame, etc. The Gauntlet is a separate track for solo, exclusively solo. All assets have to be created within the time frame of the Gauntlet, so no external assets allowed. And it's on a much shorter time frame. Now, the kickoff is that the casual track has a lot more prize categories. The Gauntlet version has fewer prize categories, but they're a lot higher. So that's what we're gunning for this time is for the raffle, or for the Gauntlet, this is the big, like, we want to show off. We want to really show everything that I am capable of as a developer, and I want to gun for the big prizes. Otherwise, you go for here where we have a more diverse breadth. Hydrate, you got it, Robotech. Great to see you, Robotech. How are you doing? Are you still building that robot? Off Automata, Twitch doesn't like the D-hat. Primarily working on a timeout corner where people are forced... Twitch doesn't like dunce. Boo. Sorry, Ryun. Oh, shoot. Now that's a hat. Biggs, welcome in. Great to see you, friend. That's a hat. This is literally a hat. All right, Tiny Devil, what you got for us here? I'm okay with either. On Twitch, I'll stay ball for now. People love saying Incredible. It's true. It's true. Common sense says I should do the casual, but I really want to try the Gauntlet. A lot of people like the Gauntlet because it's a shorter time frame, and that's a bit easier for people to commit to. So we've seen people say both things, that a longer one allows me to only do it for a few hours a day, and that's great. I've also heard people say, I feel like I have to work full time on it the entire time. So the Gauntlet track is kind of your way out of that. It gives you a short time frame to just punch something through and still feel like you've contributed everything that you want to. Primarily, yes, where they're timed out, they will get a dunce cap and sit in front of the class for the duration of the timeout. I love that. That's fantastic. Welcome back to Robi Bros. Could also be the Fox track instead of Gauntlet, since they are usually solitary and fast too. Oh, that's an idea, Cubis. Doing well. How are you? And yes, I am very cool. Glad to hear it, Robotech. Can't wait to see that thing move forward. We're doing very well. Thank you. We're talking details of Fox Hollow Jam 3 and getting this itch page built out. Can I please have the banner in full res? Sure, this may not be the final version, but I'll send this to you. I'll send it to you right now. Let me do that. Oops. If I can type. There we go. All right. There you go. Just sent it to you. When is the jam? The jam is November 1st through the 9th, and then we're going to have our Gauntlet track, which is the 48-hour version from the 1st to the 2nd. You can carry over a project from the Gauntlet into the full track. You just got to make sure that it's labeled as such, and we're going to tidy up the submission process so that that's a question you can answer and make it a little bit easier on everyone. Could I try the Gauntlet, and if I fail at it, just use the rest of the week? Absolutely. Or I don't have to commit to either. No, you don't. Nope, you don't have to commit to either. You just build what you want, and then if you get it done for the Gauntlet, you submit it, and you'll select, this is a Gauntlet submission, and that'll be that. I have fun with Gauntlet and then polishing it. A lot of people did that, and I loved seeing that, by the way. I love seeing people submit for the Gauntlet and then further polish it and get a full version. I think that did a lot of really cool things. I think it gave people like a firm jumping off point if they wanted it, but then I think a lot of people as well felt encouraged from the feedback they got from their Gauntlet game so that they wanted to keep building it out and build something cool. In fact, Queen Anne, who built Primordial Pantheon for the previous Game Jam, did that. She did the Gauntlet version and then the full version and was so elated by the feedback that she got from it, she's actually working with her team right now and building pitch documents to pitch it to publishers. So it's really exciting. I think it's a really cool thing. And it encourages everyone else to see, like, this is what can happen in the span of a few days. I think it's very encouraging for everyone else who's participating in the jam. I said the game's release date is 2025, April 1st as a joke, but who knows? The timeout might break and be funny because people can throw stuff at the timed out people and they can put a piece of paper on their back and they can't do anything about it because they can't send messages or redemptions. That's hilarious. I would join, but I'm doing NaNoWriMo this year, and even I have limits to what I'll YOLO myself into. Biggs, I know you are constantly in jams nowadays, and you've been getting a bit of a break, right? I hope that break's been good for you. What is NaNoWriMo? I'm unfamiliar with that one. Critiques were awesome. I'm glad they were helpful, and we love doing that sort of thing, and they enrich me very deeply. I should put my game up for critique. Every time I do this, my mom says, so who critiqued your game? Like, I didn't think about it. I don't know. I gotta get someone on to critique my stuff. All right, let's check this out. This is from Cubis. This is a demo as an invitation to a demo, I believe. I don't totally understand what that means. We're gonna check this out. Mommy's right. Yes, I should. We prefer our gadgets bent, our laptops sticker plastered. We turn spam into architecture. We trigger live visuals from game engines. We believe in code. Design by numbers. And bask in visual music. That one just looks like an L. Bask in visual music. We keep our worlds in flux. Computer is both ultimate tool and smallest common denominator. This is quite the hype machine, because our concepts, it's very hard to read a lot of it. Methods and instruments are as individual as our ideas. You convinced me to do jams, not only your jams? No kidding, Robi Bros. That's awesome. I love to hear that. I think game jams are a really powerful tool. Really powerful tool for a lot of reasons, which we've talked about ad nauseum here on the stream. But thank you for letting me know that. Deeply appreciate that. Hold on, let me just get something there. There we'll go. Was this not from you, Cubis? Didn't you send this link? Oh, this is Tiny Devil. Excuse me, Tiny Devil. My apologies. My apologies. Demo parties are gatherings where people write things like this. They then create things like this to invite to the next demo party. So, demo party. This is all real-time software. So these are all like shaders and everything running through. This isn't a graphic that's rendered through like Premiere. We are curious. We swear by trial and errors and the novelty of glitch. This is a nice intro. Yeah. Our gear is just a ramp. We code, we script, we mod, we marvel, and keep inventing as we play. We are scientists, architects, designers, filmmakers, typo on filmmakers, and musicians, dissolving formal boundaries of our field. Very cool, Tiny Devil. We are many, no and no longer among ourselves. They gotta work on the legibility of this, I'm not gonna lie. So in case we haven't met yet, okay, that was clever with the Y and the T. There is a solid chance. If your gear is a ramp, you've lost too many teeth. Revision 2024. There are the balls and everything. Oh, look at all this. Very cool. Very cool, Inktober. Is this just gonna be like a demo hallway? Wow. That's a lot. That's a lot of stuff. My goodness. Oops. Cool. Thanks for sharing that, Tiny Devil. That's very cool. I'm curious what that would look like, and how to leverage that, right? Because my concern about building a game as an invitation, Ryun, you got it. Oh. Has a history that goes back to the 8-bit days. Wow, that's crazy. What is Fox Hollow Jam 3? Oh, Fox Hollow Jam. Yes, Tobias, it's Fox Hollow Jam 3. It's the best jam party. So if we built a game as an invitation to the jam, I think that could be fun and meta. I would want that experience to actually be worth it from a business perspective. Thank you, Ryan, for the hydrate. Is there a way that we could leverage that? Incredible. Hold on, let me drag this down a little bit. 1, 2, 3, 4 hydrates. Thank you, Incredibro. Woo! Don't drown him. I'm a professional at this, Ryan. You don't need to worry about me. Do not try this at home. Hydrate. Oh, I learned from Sundown. I learned from Sundown how to handle this. Oh, shoot. Oh, God. Twitch alerts is so slow. So slow. Is there an unhydrate? Like there is for hats? What would that be? Just swallow a desiccant package? I saw a great short with Vsauce where he said, this is the most dangerous thing that I own. And it is a desiccant package that is filled with candy. And it looks exactly the same as the drying desiccant stuff. And it's terrible. Don't get drunk on water for real. Go to the toilet. I would be vomiting. So that is a big part of why the ad break every half an hour is actually really good for me, because I'm probably going to be taking that break anyways, because during a stream, I down like 3 to 4 of these over the course of a couple hours. So, you know, the breaks are well used. I'll say that much. Okay. So let's get our content written out here. This is the big deal. Let's grab all this. I'm just going to grab all of it. And then drag it down here. Okay. Left align. Make you white. And then shrink in. Okay, there we go. So this is a lot. It's a whole bunch. And I need to figure out what is actually worth keeping or what can we get rid of. Because it's a lot, right? And the longer something is, the less likely it is for someone to want to wade through it all and participate in it, right? I want it to be as short as possible. But I also want it to be communicative. Let me do this and then rules. Oops. I'm just doing this so that I can read it a little bit better. I have to go walk the dog. I'll probably be back in around 30 to 40 minutes. No problem, Rayun. Have a great dog ambulation. Thank you for hanging out. Raffle had me crying? Why did Raffle have you crying? What was going on with the raffle? Let's see, we'll put a bold there. Bold. And then prizes bold, sponsors bold. Okay. There we go. Because my game didn't win a single raffle? Well, it's because you won first place. So anyone who won first, second, or third place was removed from the raffle. That's why you didn't win any raffles. I'm sorry. That maybe could have been made more clear. So 8 random winners who submitted a project but didn't win any of the first, second, or third prizes in the other tracks got prizes. So apologies, Incredibro. Maybe we need to make that a little more clear to people. So that's exactly the sort of feedback that I need to hear in order to improve on things. As well, I'd love to win raffle too. I'm a human ball. Do human balls love raffles? Oh, like what? Like bingo? That sort of an idea? We also have a document here of feedback that I have gotten about the jams and how people have kind of interpreted being in them. What do they feel were good or bad? And what are things that I can do to improve? So we're going to be looking at that as well. Okay, so what is a game jam? This is a lot right at the front of the page, right? If we go to our normal size, my concern here is this is what people see when they first come in. This is the very first thing. And I don't know if I can get rid of it. It feels like we want to, as my writer father says, beware of throat clearing, right? This feels like throat clearing. This feels like setting the stage for something that probably doesn't really need to be set. We need to get to the meat of the play. So, can we get rid of this? The problem that I have is I have had people reach out to me and say, can someone who has never done game development enter your jam? And so I feel like having some sort of beginner-friendly discussion right up front helps signify that. So I don't know. I think if people are looking for game jams, they know what is a game jam. I would agree. And maybe the point is not what is a game jam, but it is instead, can I participate? Like, who is eligible for this? I kind of stole a bit of this from Pirate Software's jam. What is a game jam? And I figured, he's got a good idea of this, but also the numbers he's getting are much larger than the numbers we're getting, and he's probably pulling in a lot of people from across the internet that have never really heard of game jams before, and that's probably not the case for us right now. The first thing they see, but also the first thing they ignore if they're not new to this. I could see that, yeah. Are you acquiring a GDD again? Yes. We do require the GDD because, once again, the purpose of this is not to build a game. The purpose of this is to get skill development for entering the game industry, right? And that's why we do GDDs, because if you are working on any team, a GDD is going to be really important. Having experience building it, even if you're not the designer, you're not the one building it, having that experience in building it is going to help you to communicate a lot more clearly with your designers and make sure that collaboration is happening across people much more clearly. Would a small category of clearest GDD be interesting for people? It's an interesting idea. Endo, good to see you. How are you, friend? Welcome on in. It is so great to see you in here. Clearest GDD, $10. Took me the same amount of time to make a GDD as my Gauntlet game development. Yeah, and that is one thing. That's a big deal, is people can spend a lot of time on a GDD. And like, I remember yours, Incredibro. It was a very, very good GDD, especially for a game jam. I want the GDD to not be an obstacle to people. So I want to give them an easy route they can take with the GDD. But I also feel it's deeply important to have it. So we gotta work through that too. This means the making of the GDD was beneficial. Fox is secretly using this game jam for a sequel, UFO 50 Part 2. UFO 50, is that the like 50 games compiled into one? Which also has been done in Board Game Lands. Board game with 50 board games. It is... there's one that is just beloved, and I cannot remember what it is, but there's one, and it's like a green art. Yeah, that's been done in the analog space too. I was interested to see a lot of videos come out on that. Time to spend the entire jam making a GDD, and that may be worth exploring too. Is doing a GDD jam, and I know Pirate Software has kind of already done that, but if we try and avoid anything anyone has ever done, it's gonna be like that episode of South Park where they say, I'm gonna do this as an evil villain, and then they say Simpsons already did that, and that's the whole episode, right? Like, you'll just never do something. I made the game first, then I made the GDD. Yeah, maybe it would be best GDD, like clearest and most accurate. Best is a little subjective, and it's something I want to improve here. You can see our prize categories. We have like best audio and most polished and most growth. I want to get these more specific because they're so highly subjective. It's hard to understand what you need to do to really gun for that. And I'd like that to be more clear. Some way to make that happen. And that's what I worry about with best GDD as well, is best in what regard? Because some people took GDD, like Prodigal Son, they built a very technical GDD. Like, you could come in and build their game based off of their GDD because they had so much code guidance, but it had very little design guidance. And it's, so we gotta get on the same page as far as all that goes. I'm gonna make a PowerPoint for the GDD. That would totally work just fine. Simpsons did it, yeah. GDD jam calling Progsy. Oh man, Future Man emote. Nice. You're making a time challenge to make something. I'm telling every reality show ever. Absolutely, absolutely. So I'm thinking, so let's copy this off to the side. I think what I want to do, I want to axe what is a game jam. Let's look at I've got some examples here that I really like. We have the jam. Have you ever wanted to make a boss rush in a month? Then you should join this jam. You have 1 month to create the best boss rush in the boss rush jam. This is okay. I don't feel it's quite there. What about the melon jam? This whole thing, I just kind of skip past. This is why I really wish I could have a little more control over the page. It's because I want some sort of a menu floating to the side, right? To say like, hey, are you like, have the theme, have all that stuff, but then have a big section like, if you are new, click here and go down and just say like, you can join this too. No worries, right? The thing with most accurate is since a GDD is also a bit of a living document, you tend to update it throughout the development. So if it's not accurate, something went wrong regardless. What makes this jam different? Yeah, check out 1-Bit Jam. Let's check that out. And if anyone has jams that they find to be really well done, I'd love to look at their pages, especially if they're on itch. 1-Bit Jam. 1-Bit Game Jam. I mean, that's thematically appropriate. I'm probably looking at the wrong 1-Bit Jam. Here we go. Probably this one. This is the 1-Bit Jam. Where am I? This is the 1-Bit Jam. The main condition is to create a game that uses any 2 colors. That's a good intro. I like that. We're going into ads in just a second here, by the way. I did good in the Melon Jam. Nice. I think the theme would be the first. It could be. It could be. I mean, that's what a lot of people are wanting to come into. I could maybe see it where before the jam launches, there's a bit more of a preamble, and then after the launch, we remove that, and we just have the theme up front. I don't know if that would be disorienting for people or not, though. So, yeah, I don't know. All right, we do have ads coming up. If you have any great jams that we can take inspiration from, throw them in the chat. Okay, welcome back. I got high play brought up. Thank you, Incredibro. That's the idea first, but if you figure out the mechanic you designed is either very hard to make or inherently not fun to play, it's better to change it in your code first to see what works and then update your GDD accordingly. It might also just be how I use my GDDs. It totally depends on your team size. 100% depends on the team size. So if you have a really, really big, hefty team, like AAA, that's not how they're going to function, right? They're going to say, we have a GDD that has been through months and months and months of design work. And then we pass it into prototyping. And they prototype it, it gets tested, and then it goes back to the designers. And then they're going to make those adjustments. and then the GDD will get back to a prototyping team, right? The smaller your team is, the less that GDD happens up front. So especially if you're a one-person team, a lot of the times GDDs, if they happen at all, will happen after you have already moved. So the smaller the team is, the less design, documentation, and everything needs to happen up front. But the bigger the team, the bigger the risks are if people are moving around aimlessly and everything, or moving in opposite directions from each other. Once again, the whole communication diagram here, the harder and harder it gets, and the more you want a guiding direction. Weak Sauce is probably the most chill jam. No judging, flexible time frames, more just a place to encourage people to produce stuff. Great for people with little time or with less confidence. Sure. Why another game jam? Although there are many great game jams out there, sometimes it's difficult for people to try them out. I think this is probably a good route to go of essentially what makes this one different, right? Especially if we're going to try and get traffic from itch. If we want to become like a featured thing on itch or something, we need to showcase, hey, this is why this is important. It's not just a jam. This is a jam that's very focused on skill development, right? Thank you for that link, Tiny Devil. I'm doing a high play jam. If anyone is joining, make sure you tell them Incredibro sent you. High play, $10,000 prize pool? Holy crap. Hey, Pong up, $5,000, Incredibro. Go claim your title. That's interesting, showing the dollar amounts next to the names. That's interesting. How do they have such generous prizes? Like, I don't see a sponsorship section. Ah, sponsor prizes. Oh, because High Play is a platform. So they are a company. This is not a community. They are a company. And hey, where is this money coming from? We have a WIP suite of free developer tools, and candidly, we want more people to be aware of them. Yeah. So they are the corporate sponsor. Makes sense. Makes sense. Need the money for the new monitor? Yeah. They're looking for products. Yeah. So they are. So you have to build it into their ecosystem. So they're earning off of this, right? They are getting content for their site. I don't know what High Play is, but it's clear that that's what's going on. Okay. There you go. Fascinating. Fascinating. I mean, that's a powerful play. Is if you have an organization, throw some funds at it. And honestly, if you can prove ROI, if you have $10,000 for your conference, like that's not a lot of money, right? If you have $10,000 for a marketing effort, that's not a ton. It's, it's not anywhere near a TV spot. It's not going to be hosting a conference online, even, let alone a physical location. Like $10,000 is chump change as far as corporations go. Money laundered. I think the people also want to know the price pool quick, so maybe putting that on top of the site would be better. Biggest motivation. This jam isn't about money. It is. So, okay. What makes this one different? And then have the prizes section up front. I think that's a good idea. So what makes this one different? And then what can I win, maybe? And then all of this stuff I want to make into a graphic so it's not so text-based. I feel the thing making FHG Jam different is in Jam Critique Session. I agree, Dharma. Yeah, 100% agree. We have the... And you know what? I'm not even mentioning that up here. I say there's going to be 2 different tracks, and then I jump straight into the track. Huge, long track discussion. Yeah, we got to work on that. Don't forget the $. The dollar sign, what? In the header? I think for a jam that offers prizes is always dependent on the person. If you are or aren't in it for the prizes is up to you. Yeah. No, I think that's also fair. I think that's very fair. A lot of people have the mentality, don't enter a game jam to win it, enter it just to grow. And if you end up winning, then that's great. But that is not the goal. And I think that's a good mentality to have for what it's worth. In the header, should we do the like the emoji the this guy right there? That just feels so crass, you know? Prizes are motivation to do hard labor. It's true, but also like the dollar prizes that we're giving out are not going to be like worth the hard labor. This place is like $10,000 if you get first place in a jam. There's only 167 people that have joined so far. That's not bad. That's not bad odds, right? If you're confident in your skills and the prizes are lowest prize is $2,500 out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's not bad. Let's say they maybe get to 300 signups by the end. Of those, maybe if they're really good at it, maybe 100 people submit. That's a 5% chance you're going to win good money. That's not bad. It's not bad at all. The real prize is supposed to be the while loops we make along the way. The track could be visualized with some kind of multiple lanes or a splitting off graphic. Yes, and that's why I like, is it this one? I don't think so. I think it's Melon Jam. They have this sort of thing. This is a really ugly version. I'd want something a lot better looking, but having some sort of clear chart, right? I think is going to be really strong. Since the gauntlet is like an advanced track, it might be good to mention it on top, but then follow it with more information about the gauntlet will be further down the page and see if you can link to it with a clicky thing. That's a good idea, Daramo. I like that. Yeah. 10% submission. I'll prepare for 14 years, enter one game jam to win it, and when I don't, I'll just change my name and move to Alaska. Yeah, I understand that. Instead of what can I win, it should be, and if I succeed. That's an interesting approach. Kind of make it more narrative. I was thinking you should have 2 pages. I've thought a lot about that. The reason I don't want to separate the gauntlet and the casual track is because if we do that, this number goes down quite heavily, which is important. It's very important for credibility and social proof. But more importantly, it's a big deal for people to come in and see the gauntlet editions next to the main editions. And if we have them on different submissions, then I don't think anyone's going to really jump over very much. And I think this is an important thing for people to be able to visualize, oh, this is the gauntlet edition. This is the main edition. I want to see the difference, and I want to be motivated by that. Higher chance of not changing your name and moving to Alaska. Easier to build an igloo with 2 people. There you go. Management becomes easier. Management does become easier, but I did see in GMTK did this, right? Where they have the 48 hours and the 96 hours. This is essentially what we're doing. So we just need to get this built into the page. And then we win, right? And then we have a really good filtering system. Row by rows. So, okay. Let's axe this. I want to redefine this. We need this to be a lot punchier. Fox Hollow Jam is heavily oriented towards deliberate skill growth with 2 different tracks to match your 2 different tracks and built in critique sessions built-in optional critique sessions Fox Hollow Jam is more than just a game. Writing is hard. Thinking Dexter New Blood. He has moved to Alaska to avoid his previous life. Oh boy. You showed Rand Tiktaalik to your teacher. Don't know if he was impressed or not. That's hilarious. FoxJam 38, here we come. All right, what did you send over, Alamad? Holy cow, look at you, Alamad. That's crazy. That's wild. Thank you for building that. That's really interesting. Go bye, bros. Thank you. Hold on. Let's get this brought in here so people can check it out. So this is what Alamad sent over. He said, this is 3D if you have some sort of animation idea. That's kind of cool. Kind of make it a neon nightlight sort of thing. Mr. Bruh from YouTube because Twitch is going crazy. Oh, shoot. That's super cool. All right. We'll get to that in a minute. We got to get this content worked out first. Thank you, Alamad. Thank you for that. Super cool. I agree. Yeah, that was really neat. With 2 different tracks and built-in optional critique sessions, the objective is for you to grow your skill set, advance towards your next position in game dev. On that design, I think the reflection on the bottom should fade out. Yeah, I agree. It's a little too much. I mean, it's got a little bit of a blur, but it could be a lot more. We need to move some of the space. Anyways, there's stuff that could be said. We could increase the kerning as well so that it lines up and makes a nice solid box shape instead of having this kind of thing here. But anyways, yeah, lots of cool stuff. Although, yeah, now that this is kind of stroked like this, it's almost, I think it's the rounded corners that are making it maybe feel a little bit off. I don't know. Lots of interesting things. Lots of cool stuff. Okay. Maybe we just... What makes this one different? Get rid of all this. 2 different tracks to meet your schedule and ambitions. Oops. Built-in optional critique sessions to level up your project before the final submission. Do we just do that? Oh, Figma, where did you put this now? There we go. Get that out. There we go. Maybe we just do that. What makes this one different? 2 different tracks to meet your schedule and ambitions, built-in optional critique sessions to level up your project before this final submission. I think that should go first. And then the 2 different tracks to meet your schedule and ambitions should be later. So if we do, by the way, thanks for being on YouTube as well, folks. We are less than 700 hours away from being Partner Plus on YouTube. So every watch hour on that platform brings us closer to getting paid peanuts by YouTube. So thank you. Truly, deeply actually mean that, even though I do inject a little bit of a joke. It is a big, big difference. So thank you. Love the neon idea. Yeah, it's pretty cute, huh? What are the tracks? And then maybe take this stuff and cut. Bring it down here. Oops. There. And then that. Okay. Bling chilling. Yes, thank you. Watch his videos in like 0.25 to ramp up the watch time per video. I actually don't know if that works. That actually might work because I think if you speed it up, it doesn't count it as going by faster. So if you are at a quarter speed, I do think, I mean, you could also just let it run and keep on going through the playlists and stuff, but, you know. I love cringe, I don't care, but somehow the way in which my senior leadership uses it is actually makes me cringe, and I do cringy things every day. That's the Jam's theme, cringe. What is your management saying cringe, and that's what's cringe? Let me start watching all of my videos at that speed, yeah. Let's make everything in neon lights. That's super cute. My only concern with that is contrast. Like maybe not have it on a pure black background or something. But it could be interesting. It could be kind of fun. So this is actually going to inform the visual direction here. We're on What Can I Win? This is the time that we're going to actually announce our sponsors. Okay? This is the moment. This is the big deal. Usually sponsors are like that thing that fade into the background because they're like just people throwing money to get their logos on the screen. I hope by now we've been able to show that Fox Hollow Jam is a little bit different than that our sponsors are very deeply meaningful to the jam. So I'm really excited to talk about the sponsors here today. That was the entire meme about the video. Oh boy, they're singing, dancing, and trying to do TikTok or YouTube trends. Yeah. Let them have fun. Let them enjoy life. Stop bothering them. Fun. Surprised if YouTube had not patched out after 2 videos by him. That's funny. Okay. Here's our sponsors. So, first off, we once again have Riverwolf Games as our continuing sponsor. They have sponsored every single Fox Hollow Jam so far, all 3 of them. They are stalwart sponsors for us, and they are providing our $100 prize pool for the jam. Thank you to Riverwolf Games. That is Fortune's Favorite, which if you are hanging around the software and game dev categories, you see Fortune's Favorite all the time in many, many streams. Very, very active. Riverwolf Games is their studio where they are making, alongside their partner Pain and Suffering, that is not a joke, that is their screen name. They are making the fantastic Clover, which you can go play here. They are constantly working on things. Every time I load this up, there's new stuff going on. It's got fantastic animations that they're working on. Ducky Charm description. There's always new stuff in here. It is this very cute Metroidvania sort of experience about a cat who has been transported into a strange mystical realm and is trying to go and, you know, discover what it is that they're doing. So, very, very cool project that they're working on. I love what they're doing, and they have been our sponsor from the very beginning. So thank you to Riverwolf Games. Our second sponsor, and our primary sponsor, which may not be a surprise to you because of how much I talk about them. This is something that has been in the works for, like, since Fox Hollow Jam 1. It's been a long time. It's been nearly a year we've been discussing this with each other and getting things collaborated and working on things. I am super, super thrilled to announce that our primary sponsor is Cartoon Coffee. Cartoon Coffee is our big sponsor this time, and one of the restrictions is that he made a VFX pack specifically for people in the jam. This is going to be outside of the stuff that is free. There's some of the free stuff in there, and there's a bunch of stuff that is not online. So if you go here, sign up for their free VFX. That is a part of the jam, and that's going to be a big part of the theme, is incorporating those VFX into your project. 60 VFX. This guy, I mean, incredibly generous with everything that he does. It's well worth your time. They're high quality. It's all the stuff that I've used. When people come into the stream and they say, are you using your OP VFX pack and stuff? That is what they've been talking about. Let me speedrun this game and beat the fox at his own. Well, not game. Clover's a great game. It's been fantastic to see the progress in it. Absolutely. Love, I can move the cat while it's waking up. Yeah. Would love a way to turn down the volume. I agree. And they're working on all that as well. So, really excited about that. And the first prize for this, let me make sure I double check my notes to make sure that I'm not getting stuff wrong here and I'm not writing down something that isn't correct. I believe the winner is going to get a copy of their ultimate mega pack. And then the second and third place winners are going to win, which is, by the way, $100, $200. It's $200, so it's a pretty darn good first prize. And then view all by Cartoon Coffee. I think the second and third place are going to win the essentials packs. So that is a. Let me make sure that I've got this correct. I don't see the price on it. It said it was $60 here. It might be $120 and it might be discounted. I don't know. All right, take care, Prodigal. Best of luck with the meetings. So, first prize is Ultimate Mega Pack. Cartoon Coffee's Ultimate Mega Pack. And let me see, is there like a way we can quantify this in a way that's super special? I mean, first off, we can include the link. Come on, I can embed a link in here, right? There we go. What? All right. More than one way. I'm 99% certain I can actually do that, but for some reason I can't find a way. Also, where are we looking at on ads? 4 minutes till ads. Okay. Second place are Cartoon Coffee's. Where are we at here? What is it called? The VFX Essentials. VFX Essentials pack. Grab that. And all of this is subject to change as well. I may not have this completely correct. So before the page goes fully live, we'll make sure this is all polished and ready to go. So, Gauntlet, first prize, $100. I want to remove best audio, most polished, and most growth. We need to add in some new categories. I still need to figure out what those are. Second prize for the Gauntlet. You know what? I need to converse with our sponsor. So we need to set some question marks in here as placeholders while we get that worked out. Get that all solidified. And then the raffle, I don't know what it's going to look like this time around. Got to figure it out. Got to figure out what the raffle is going to look like this time. Okay. So now, what are the tracks? We need to get a nice little flowchart in here for this. If I'm in a team and somehow win, do we both get the pack, or how does it work? I believe everyone on the team will get the pack, but let me double check that with Cartoon Coffee. You send that quick message. Okay. Okay. All right, set that out. I'll let you know when I get the answer. What if in the raffle the community votes the winners? We have had that as a prize category in the past of community favorite. We did that for the first jam, and I really liked it. It means we have to kind of be careful about some of the settings in here. But, and most importantly, in terms of like getting the page set up, I did it wrong last time, which meant that there were some problems we couldn't have that category. So I need to work on that. But I do like the idea of a community favorite a lot. I propose best UX, most charming programmer art, most innovative mechanics. So one thing I want to keep the focus on is skill development here, right? So we want the prizes, we want the incentive to align with the desired behaviors, right? So if we want them to grow, we want participants to get better, not just through like random practice, but deliberate, careful practice. How do we do that? What are the incentives that we provide to align? I mean, definitely, I think we should have some sort of a cleanest code, cleanest GDD. The problem with cleanest code is that we can't really investigate that very easily, right? And I'm going to tell you, no one is going to have the time or the expertise to dig through 30 plus jam submissions and find, all of the, and do a in-depth review of all of their code. Now, that could be something we do for another jam. That could be really interesting, where we get a big team of volunteers that will be diving through the code and analyzing things. I know I don't have that kind of expertise, and our sponsors don't have the time for that. So clean code also does not matter for a good game. It's true, but it does matter for getting a job in a studio. So that is kind of important, right? If I was watching a video with, I think his name is Tim Kaine. Gosh, I wish I could remember. Where he said, yeah, Timothy Kaine. He said, we hired a developer once because he was working on a project of his own, working on his own game. He was only like halfway through, but we looked at his code and it was immaculate. So we hired him. Jam submission code is just always a mess in general. It's part of the aesthetic, sure. Best elevator pitch? Could be. We are moving into ads, so we'll be right back. All right, welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Uh, I'm gonna put a quick little pin in this. I don't want to make any snap judgments on this. I want to think about this a little bit. Because to be honest, I'm a little bit. There's a lot of different directions we could take the extra categories, right? We could do, most creative use of the VFX pack. We could do. Welcome back, Alamad. We could do. Like most innovative mechanic. Innovative is such a buzzword, you know? It's so few people have like a real meaningful shared understanding of what innovative actually means, which is disconcerting. So I just what would be good there? Could do well. What's going to be the skill of? So we definitely need most growth, right? Most growth is our standby category that we always have. We need to have most growth. A good trailer song, that totally depends on the vibe of the trailer, Alamad. What about I don't know. I don't want to make too many because our prize pool is a little bit different this time around. It's more asset based rather than monetary. So maybe that's where we keep it for now. And we'll revisit this when I'm able to touch bases with the sponsors and make sure that I've got everything set up correctly. Raffle can be better. Let's get rid of this, try and make it more clear, and say star. And then star. Those who submitted a project but didn't win first, second, or third prizes in the other tracks are. We can write this more simply. Winners of the first, second, or third prize categories are ineligible for the raffle. I misspelled that. Okay. I love raffle. It's the only hope for those who didn't win. Well, yeah, that's kind of the purpose, huh? It's to incentivize people and say, listen, it's still worth it. You can still get something. There's a chance, even if you know you're not going to win for second or third, there's still some opportunity that you're going to be recognized for your efforts, right? And that's kind of the goal of it. Okay. And then we can, shrink this down a little. Now, what are the tracks? Have two different tracks, each with their own prize categories, a casual track and a gauntlet track. Let's make this not look terrible and not be super confusing. So I think it would be good to have it be landscape. So we're going to make a frame here. We're just going to make it an arbitrary amount tall. And then width is going to be 1080, let's say. Oops. Shrink it down. Okay. This is the track roadmap. And then we're going to take this and then have a my idea here is have like the dates down here in some way, like say November and then 1st. Probably shrink this down to be smaller than the other ones. So 1, 2, oops, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Drag 9 across. Just give it some arbitrary distance, 16 pixels, sure. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. We grab all these, and then we, oh no, what have you done? Where's my auto layout? Oh no, tidy up, there we go. Ugh. All right, fine. And then we scrunch it out. Center it on the page. And then we need it to be one more. $11 and $16. Ugh. All right, whatever. We'll take that for now. We're not going for tidy. We're just going for does it exist right now. Oh god. Okay. And this is a good example of you're going to need to use your design eye a lot of times when you're doing graphic design, because these are all technically centered. They do not look centered. You'd want to scooch all those around a lot to make it look better. So one thought I had was gauntlet. And then have it go like this. Copy some of these colors, sure, why not? And then casual track. And then we could have like a little flag coming down. Let's move it up to here. On the third day, we have, sure, we'll do rounded edges. But what I'm really looking for is dotted line. Where are we doing that now? Here? Okay. Dash line, we'll say critique session 1. And then at the end of the 6th day, or the middle of the 6th day, critique session 2. Right? Have something like this. This is obviously super gross looking. Spent some time tidying it up, but I don't know. This is the thought of placing this right after this paragraph. And it's small here because the text size is so big, but it won't be that way on the actual page. This will be full page width. That's kind of the thought that I've got. Yeah, we'll keep working on that another time. But I think that's a good idea. I like that better than doing something vertical, because then you have to start scrolling and it's just not necessary. I like calling out the critique sessions. We definitely want these colors to be a little bit different, but yeah. Too much tomato! Hello, friend! How is my favorite claymation-y type sort of weird art style Canadian developer doing today? So good to see you, Too Much Tomato. Tempted, good to see you. Fool Box, hello. What were you up to today, Too Much Tomato? Welcome on in, everyone. For those of you who are new, Fox Hollow Games, I'm Joe. We are a charitable organization helping people enter the games industry. And one of the big ways we do that is we host quarterly game jams. We're talking about our next game jam right now. This was our Fox Hollow Jam 2 we did last quarter. We're going through and trying to write out the content for the next Fox Hollow Game Jam, sponsored by Riverwolf Games and Cartoon Coffee, who is going to be providing our major prize pack in their Ultimate Cartoon VFX Mega Pack. It's going to be a really rad time. So thank you so much for hanging out. Oh, shoot. Was working on the secret final boss. Is this for torso tennis? Tomato does give me heartburn, so maybe not more. Hype new Fox Hollow Jam. Absolutely. Folks, if you're not following Too Much Tomato, you definitely should. go follow Too Much Tomato. They've made Flower Pot Forklift, and they are currently working on Torso Tennis, which has been featured by very big YouTubers that you are familiar with. Go check out Torso Tennis. It is an absolute ride of a roguelike where you are, he says, playing tennis. I call it hot potato with a tennis racket, where you are building the limbs of your player, and it gets absolutely wild. You put tattoos on their Johnson with the raid. Oh my gosh. We're getting all the raids today. Hello and welcome in, Johnson, and all you lovely crew. Welcome in, everyone. Too Much Tomato, I want to hear about this secret boss. Also, feel free to run. I know you may need to. Johnson, same with you. Welcome in. I understand you may need to raid and run, but thank you so much for hanging out. If you're not following Johnson, definitely also give him a ride. He is making the fantastic looking Ridiculous Shipping and is a fantastic Godot developer. I have to wait 54 seconds before doing another shout out. I apologize, Johnson. But welcome on in, everyone. Yeah, Johnson, what were you up to today? Were you working on Ridiculous Shipping? All right, raid alert. Go get your food. Go raid the supply containers. Bring them off the dock. Get some food in. UI work. Awesome. Glad to hear it. That's great. We love talking UI here. Absolutely. So welcome in. So great to have all your raiders here. Once again, if you are new to the channel, my name is Joe. Fox Hollow Games is a charitable enterprise helping people enter the game industry. So we do that through a lot of different ways. One of our chief ways right now is by hosting game jams every quarter, thanks to our sponsors. This was our previous game jam. We have a new game jam that we are working on right now, being sponsored by Riverwolf Games and Cartoon Coffee, who has made fantastic VFX packs for use and has a Discord where they're constantly making free VFX for people in the Discord. I mean, it's absolutely insane. Definitely go give Cartoon Coffee a check as well. Let me throw that up in the chat as well. Ridiculous Chessing. Yeah. Secret Boss's cutouts of my face parts on the tennis court. That's hilarious and totally fits your aesthetic. That's fantastic. Really hope to join this one. Any idea of a date yet? Yes, absolutely. The date, you can see Alamad's rendition here. We have November 1st through the 9th. November 1st through the 9th. And then we have a gauntlet track, which is going to be much more restrictive. Solo only, no pre-existing assets. Just open your IDE and go. That will be the 1st and the 2nd. So that's what we're gearing up for this time around. Yeah, thank you for asking for the for the dates there. I need to be sharing that around a bit more. So that's what we're working on. Yeah. I love it. Yeah, we've gotten that feedback from a lot of people that some people really prefer the longer jams because it lets them work for just a few hours per day on their project and they feel fine about that. And then other people feel like they have to work like full time on the project forever in order to make it actually happen. So we found a good balance in making those two different tracks and making them meaningfully different so that they each feel like their own sort of challenge. And Cubus, yeah, we don't have the 3rd jam page up yet. That's what we're working on today. That's what we're writing. That's what we're making. We're building the visual roadmaps. Please don't judge the visual design of this. This is absolutely horrible. Don't look at this. Just look at the substance. This is a wireframe. All right, take care, Robi Bros. LD Compo's are my fave, so Gauntlet is exciting to me. LD Compo. I'm unfamiliar with them. LD Compo Game Jam. Oh, Ludum Dare. All right, is it Ludum Dare or Ludum Dare? I never know which one it is. And they don't provide any meaningful support on their website. It's deeply upsetting. Deeply upsetting to me. Ludum Dare compo category, yeah. Dare. Is it Dare? How do you know it's Dare? Where do they say it's Dare? I need a source of truth here, Tomato. I need a reason to believe. All jam and no sleep makes Fool Box a dull box. Dude, I don't know. I mean, you're in like the final moments of your game. You ain't got time for game jams, man. Sockhouse is basically done with their game Barricade, and they're just in the marketing phase. So they've started doing things. Thornity was in here earlier and was saying that he and Sockhouse tag teamed the new Godot Wild Jam, and they were very happy with their submission. But like that comes after you're done with crunch time and everything. It's Latin. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Ludum Dare. Okay, perfect. Thank you, Tomato. Appreciate that. I disagree. I ain't got time for anything. Oh shoot. I hear that. I hear that. My YouTube editor is deeply upset at me that I am going so slow on so many things. We've had a reshoot and a rescripting we've had to do for a long time that I've just not gotten around to. Okay. Well, welcome all you lovely fine folk. It is such a pleasure to have you here. Let's see. Let's go into here. We've got the tracks. The written description is still good. We do still want the written description in case, you're viewing it in a way that you can't load images. It's important to have the text there. We'll keep all this. And I think this is going to be the same information. We'll just need to swap out the dates. So November 1st through 9th. It's going to be an 8-day long jam this time. Between 3 p.m. and 5 p.m. Eastern on the, what am I saying here? The 3rd. The critiques are on the 3rd and the 6th. Okay. Except teaching. That's the only thing I started reprioritizing. I know you had that class recently. How did your class go? And also, is this like a recurring gig? How did you start reprioritizing this? Is this a job that you've gotten, or inquiring minds want to know, Foolbox. We want to be up to date on your life. And then change these dates to be the 1st through the 2nd. I'm excited to get the scoop on the class too. Yeah, Too Much Tomato does his own fair share of teaching. It's a semester class. Nice. Every Wednesday for a couple of months. Very exciting. Is this at high school, secondary education, college level? What are we looking at here? And is it game dev, I'm assuming, is what you're teaching? Or maybe fundamentals of programming or something? I don't know. Okay. The theme, we're going to put in question marks. And the design principle. Oh, you know what? The design principle is another thing we need to bring up. Built-in optional critique sessions, a theme, and a design principle to provide targeted practice around good fundamentals of design. That needs to be rewritten, but we'll deal with that in a second. Teaching Unity and C#. It's a tech art school. I think the equivalent in the US would be community college. Nice. That's awesome, Foolbox. Big congrats. Did someone reach out to you for that, or did you apply? I'm sure that the students are just adoring you over there. My goodness. Get rid of that. And then we keep this. Get creative about how to implement the theme. You can try to aim hard toward the technical definition, go in the completely opposite direction to overwhelm. That needs to go away. Or do something entirely sideways. We'll be judging the prize winners on the theme and the design principle implementation. So let's get our document here. Here we go. Delete this. Oh, and I changed that to not be text. Interesting. Okay. But this is text, so that's just fine. Okay. So bring that over there. Okay, perfect. We have trade schools and technical schools also. Sure. Teach me to be productive. Yeah. Go to Foolbox's class. He'll get you. I applied and the guy told me I got the job because of my Twitch stream. Really? This is really interesting because earlier in the stream, Cubus was saying, and Tiny Devil as well, make sure you're putting your side projects, your personal stuff on your applications, on your resume, on your CV, because that is very worthwhile for people to see. So I'm assuming you included your Twitch stream on your application somehow. And then they went and looked at it and they were able to kind of observe your code and how you interacted with people. And that was the defining factor for you? That's crazy. That's super awesome, Foolbox. Big congrats. That's awesome. Okay, setup is going to be normal. Rules are going to be normal. And then the submission, this is all stuff we can refine over time. We can keep all this. Judging criteria, I think, is going to be the same stuff as always. We do need to have something in here mentioning the VFX Mega Pack, so we're going to have to bring that in. Let me grab the content from Cartoon Coffee. Cartoon Coffee. Here we go. Format this a little bit. Okay, there we go. Okay. Let's not do that because it's already a P tag. It'll format differently on Itch. Shared it in the opening email because I felt like it was relevant. Nice. Everything is relevant. Feels like most employers don't want to see the tutorials and exercises you did at school. That's the same as everybody else. They want to see the stuff you actually worked on your own and are passionate about. I agree. And I think that worked especially well because you did it in an email. I think a lot of, like, if it were an AI, reading your application, maybe it wouldn't have mattered. But since it was a more direct to a human interface, I think that is a really big deal. Yeah. That's awesome. Thank you for sharing that, Foolbox. That's rad. My team from the last Fox Hollow Jam is coming together. We hope we can do better this time. Awesome, Alamad. I can't wait to see what you all produce. That's great. I sure appreciated your submissions to Fox Hollow Jam 2. I have the name on the tip of my tongue. What was it? It was Selbit. Yeah, Selbit. Yeah. Can't wait to see what you all produce. Very exciting. Welcome back, Ryun. Good to see you. Welcome on in. Okay. Where does this link go? Oh, that's the Discord. Okay. That's his Discord. So we need to have that built out. We need to put this in the theme. One thing I did notice on GMTK, he completely wiped the page out and brought in custom stuff. It's like, hey, it's all done. Here are the favorites. So you just get straight to that, right? And that's something I'd like to do. I think we can have this for the beginning of the jam. And then once the jam launches, we move the theme and design principle up above that and leave everything else down below. And then when we're done, we can say, hey, here are the winners. Thanks for participating. Also shows dedication. If they look at my stream, that starts always at the same time every morning. What kind of employer would not like seeing that? Absolutely. Yeah. Did they mention that? Like, did they go and check the timestamps to make sure it's starting at the same time? Okay. No idea. Well, goodness. No, that's super cool, though. I love that story. Love that story. Okay. Reminds me of Tim Kaine, who said, the answer for how do I get a job in the game dev industry, there is an answer to it. And most people are not going to like it, and some people will disagree with it. Nonetheless, it is the correct answer. And the answer is you make a game. That is how you get into the game industry. They would hate my consistency for my streams. Now I just need to figure out exams and stuff. I have no idea what to do for that. Ooh, yeah, that's exciting. And grading and all that fun stuff. Ooh, that's the fun part of teaching. Having to review the same thing 50 times for any inaccuracies. Do a game jam. That could be an interesting idea. I mean, that's essentially what homework is, right? It's just really unfun game jams. All right, we have ads starting in just a minute. We need to include, right, in the theme. And then we need to use Note, all submissions, or rather, let's not say it that way. Let's say, I have to rewrite all this, but usage of the VFX Mega Pack will be a judged category. Get creative with the 60 free assets provided by Cartoon Coffee to make something special. And then we have to add that into the judging category. Polish, and then VFX pack usage. How creative and effective were the effects you used from Cartoon Coffee's pack? Okay. Though you don't have to use it, but it will be a judging category. So there we go. Wanted 2 exams and a project and homeworks, but there's like 23 students, so there might just be 1 exam and 1 project. Yeah. My dad was an adjunct faculty member for a long time, teaching creative writing at a university, and man, grading stuff like that instead of math homework where you can just kind of see if they got it right or not, you got the right idea to pace yourself. Okay, welcome back. Welcome back. So, where are we at? We've got a whole bunch of written documentation here. There's some things we need to finalize. We need to work on our graphical assets. It's just fine. Let's go ahead and do our blur on this. Hold on, let me grab the blur. Did I get rid of the blur? Oh, Joe. Silly Joe. Okay. Here we go. We're going to do this, and then we're just going to do an effect, and this is going to be a background, layer blur. And background blur. Have they changed how this works, or have I forgotten what it looks like? The blur does not seem to be doing what it used to. Or maybe I've just forgotten. Why is that not blurring it? Because if we set the fill down, like it's not, you can see it's not even blurring anything right there. Oh, we're blurring this layer. Okay. So background blur. There we go. So blah, 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 blah. Okay. giant blur, but now we have this color on top, which I don't love. What if we set it to this? So we don't get those harsh lines. Okay. That is completely visible what it is. All right, do that. Boop, 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 boop. Okay. Is that more or less illegible? I just don't want people to think that they're being clever by like de-Gaussian blurring the image or something and saying, oh, now I have an advantage on this because I know what the theme is. Like, no, you don't. No, you don't. Design principle, sure. Do that. And then theme is that. Hopefully, then, if someone like de-Gaussian blurs that or tries to read what it is, they will know, first off, that that is not the real theme, and second off, will maybe get a little bit of a laugh. Okay. Just right, made you look. I love that. Made you look. That's hilarious. Select layer. There we go. Bring that over. Just bring it down a smidge. There we go. The left can be never gonna and right can be let you down. Oh, I love that too. Oh, man. I like that. I think we're going to do that. Never gonna let you down. There we go. Love it. Thank you for your contributions, everyone. Oh, you gotta just have fun every now and again, you know? All right. Then scooch this down a little bit. We got a little bit of a line there. There we go. I just don't want it cutting into this diagonal here. Okay. Cool. I think we can start actually making the page. So we're going to create a game jam. This is how you do it. If you've ever been curious about how you actually go hosting a jam, this is how you do it. Oh, wow. So if I go to create host game jam, I'm taken to the game jam section where I see all of the stuff that I have created and submitted. That's interesting. I wouldn't have put these two in the same space as creating, but that's okay. Very interesting. I've wondered where I could find stuff like this. I hope they understand that the theme isn't to rickroll at the end of the game. Yeah, you know what? If they go that route, if they go to all that route and they say, okay, the theme is rickroll, the design principle is never gonna, and the theme is let you down, I'm gonna make a rickroll game. I'm kind of okay trolling them that way. You know, like they're going to that much effort to try and get advantage on something that clearly they're not supposed to. I'm okay if they have to start over again. All right. Host. New jam. Title. Fox Hollow Jam 3. We're going to go to Fox Hollow Jam 2. We're going to copy some of this stuff over. Not edit theme, edit jam. A jam to grow. I don't like in targeted ways. A jam to grow with deliberate practice and critique. Not the sexiest line ever. Maybe we'll go back and revise it. But that means you let them down. Absolutely not. I would argue that the fact that I have successfully trolled them is not letting them down. I think that is a very deliberate, I have upheld my part of the bargain. So we want ranked, and we want submitters only, submitters and contributors. So that means if they're on a team, they can do this. They can vote. we're going to do the judging voting. Let's do exclude submitters. Only those who didn't submit an entry must use the rating queue. And 5 sounds like a good default size. If a voter rates at least as many entries, that they are free to rate an entry without the queue. An empty volume means that the rating queue is always active regardless of how many entries have been rated. Oh, how many items are in the queue at once? Let's just do 3. So if you're not a submitter, you have to get 3 ratings in before you can go rate something else. That seems fair for our size. Start date will be November 1st at we're going to do 8 a.m. my time, which is mountain time. There we go. End date is the 9th of November at midnight, 11:59 and 59 p.m. Voting end date, give people a week. That seems reasonable. We'll do that once again also at just midnight. There we go. Content. Here we go. Grab all this, paste it in here, and we're going to have to fix all the formatting on this, which is deeply frustrating. And this is why, man, this editor sucks. Like, we need H1s. What is going on? H1, we need our header styles at the very least. Why do we not have a quick heading section, right? Oh, format. There we go. Okay. H1, H2. Gauntlet will be H2. We'll make these bolded. Bold, bold, bold. Bold, bold, bold. I'm missing how to create the jam so I can host my own jam eventually. Yes, absolutely. I hope your call was good, though. The big things that I have learned in my hosting of jams, number 1 is this box, voter settings. Make sure you have this finalized correctly before finishing and getting people signed up for things, because at a certain point it locks and you do not get to modify it. My jam will require 1 to 3 hours of UI analysis. If you don't have audio or audio settings, you are disqualified. Finally, you have to submit a stream analyzing your own game. That's hilarious. I want to see that. I want to see that happen. I'm going to do H1 here. Casual rules, we'll do H2. And gauntlet rules, we'll do H2. Theme is H1. Design principle is bold. And theme is bold. It's already bolded? Bold. There we go. And then we're going to bold this as well, because that's a pretty important thing that is not clear enough yet. We need to make sure we're bringing in some assets there. People who host jams just trick people into making games the host wants to play themselves. That's hilarious. I can't confirm or deny that. Rules is going to be an H1. Submission is going to be an H1. And then sample GDDs. And then digital. Yeah, we can do that. We need to bring the links in too. Judging criteria is an H1. Did I just deselect that? Dang it. Judging criteria. H1. And sponsors. H1, and then we'll make the sponsors H2s. Okay. then Riverwolf Games. Oh, come on. Stop triggering that middle mouse button. H2. There we go. All right. Cool. So that's our basic layout. We're going to grab the submission details and put these in here. We're going to need, actually, let's go to our submission details last time, because I think we did okay on that last time. Here we go. VFX pack inclusion. I have included at please help us to know where you use the VFX pack, especially if it is in a less obvious place. Okay. And then the gauntlet needs to be submitted by the second day of the jam, or it will be automatically enrolled into the casual track. Your submission of the gauntlet, clearly declared as such in the description, and submit it before the third day of the jam. Okay. Criteria. We're going to have runnability. Add new criteria. This is theme implementation. Design principle and theme implementation. And then ingenuity. And then polish. VFX pack usage. And GDD. Okay. Let's make the design principle and theme implementation the primary one. Fields. This is where we need to do our disclaimers, right? I have included my GDD, right? I have included my GDD. Single choice. And it is... This is such a weird thing. Getting this, you have to say like yes, comma, yes, no, comma, no, comma. Like, it's so freeform. It's just free text, but they're like passing it into a parser, and you have to match the format of that parser. It's deeply frustrating. Ooh, time for me to host Retro. Good luck, Prodigal. Have a great time. Quantic, great to see you, friend. How are you doing today? Welcome in. You missed us playing Bramble Royale yesterday. Thanks for that hookup once again. So it's yes, yes, and no, no. The GDD is super important for judging. All right. I recognize this is a judged field and will hurt my rating. Okay, great. Oh, and that needs to be in the field settings too. Oh, yeah. If you haven't submitted anything for a GDD, go back and get something built real fast and submit it. Okay. We're gonna add a new field. You have to check out the VOD. Yeah, it was a good time. There was a lot of really good and interesting discussion. Yeah, it was a good time. I declare that there is no generative AI in my final submission. Yes. Yes. Add a new field. This is going to be a single choice. This is going to be which track should it be in? Still only going to do the bare minimum for GDD. That's totally fine, Tiny Devil. GDD implies that I have a plan when I make a game. Yes, it does. In fact, In fact, it explicitly states that. Once again, the purpose of having the GDD be a requirement is not to add work to your plate. It is to build skill sets. That is the key thing. Because even if you never write a GDD, if you want to get into the game industry and you're working for a studio, there's going to be documentation. And having experience writing that documentation, even if you never do end up writing it for your job, will be fantastic experience to allow you to communicate more clearly with the people who are writing it. So it's a deeply important skill set to have. Yeah. Jackson Pollock never wrote a GDD. Jackson Pollock worked alone. Also just did a painting. Imagine if he had to make a game. Like, it's been said, and it's true, that video games are the most complicated art form we have invented as a species. So, it's hard. It's big, hairy, complex. There's a lot to it. It's not as simple as expressing yourself on a canvas, as deeply difficult and particular as that is. I do wonder what Jackson Pollock's early stage work was. Did he do thumbnails or anything? Did Jackson Pollock do thumbnails or sketches? For your hats, Mothman, thank you. Whoa, what's our hat hair like today? Ooh, that's a fun one. That's a fun little hat hair. Nice. Games are easy. Communicating is the harder part. Oh, shoot. What's that saying that the greatest myth about communication is that it has ever happened? Jackson Pollock didn't do thumbnails or sketches before creating his drip paintings. There you go. Considered to be a record of the fluid properties of paint rather than pictures. There you go. Interesting. Okay. I submit for the selected track. And this will be casual. I think it has to be yes. Casual. Oh, gall. Is it casual? I don't remember how this parsing works. And there's no documentation. Must be submitted before the 1st and the 2nd of November. Before the 3rd. Okay. Tags. Design. Skill. Growth. Beginner friendly. Prize. Sure. Yeah. Weekend. Bundle, I guess, because we've got the VFX bundle. All right. Locked on uploads. Hide results. Hide submissions before read. We don't need to hide results. Results of jam are always hidden from the public when this is enabled, even if the jam's rating period is over. I don't think we need to do that. Lock new uploads. Prevents participants from adding new files or submission during the rating period. Yes, absolutely do that. Hide submissions before end. The submission list is hidden from the jams page until the submission period is over. Individual submission pages can still be accessed. That's an interesting approach. I know bigger jams have that problem, like Pirate Software, where they created their page and then it was immediately attacked with 5 projects from other people that were full projects that had been built ages ago, not around the theme. And they were just trying to get eyes. It was just marketing. It was just black hat marketing. So I can understand why that option exists. We'll leave it off for now, and we'll see if we keep getting away with it. At my last software dev job, we went out of our way to not document anything for job security. No comments in code either. Oh, Quantic. That sounds like I'm very happy that was a previous position. Man, what a nightmare. Oh, that is not a team that is working together. My goodness. You and me both. Oh, man. What a ride. Okay, this is unlisted. and it's not published. So we're just going to take it into the preview. We're going to edit the theme. And first off, let's just get this not being quite so awful. We're going to copy the theme over here for now, just until we take the time to actually improve, you know, we have time to go through and do the actual work that we need to do for the visuals. All right. For now, at the very least, we can throw in Alamods because it's fun. Why not? Save that. And then banners, and appreciate Alamod's work on that. And then this is the, whoa, that's huge. Fixed width, there we go. That's a little bit better. This is, I don't know what this is. I guess it's for the banner image still. I would kind of expect that to maybe be above or something. Or just maybe add more space here. It just feels a little bit off given its distance to remove image. Background image. We're going to do our nice little... What happens if we do something like this? It's kind of interesting. I don't know, just kind of playing with some options of things that I've built in the past. Oh boy. Here, we'll do this. That looks like a good Game Jam page, right? I think that's a good one. Oh, shoot. Where is our jam background? And all of this is going to get revised. I'm going to be working on this all week long. I don't know if I'm going to be doing it on stream all week long, but it is definitely something I'm going to be doing all week long. There we go. Okay, so now we're at least not killing our eyes. People submitting pre-made things to jams is such a common thing. Yeah, we've been lucky to avoid that. And we've been avoiding people that are like soliciting their services on the community page and stuff. So we've managed to dodge quite a lot of that heftier stuff. But it's only a matter of time before people start, you know, jumping in. We have to figure out how to deal with it. Nowadays, you use a little ChatGPT comment, my code, to get around that law. Can you add a little blur and fade out to the bottom of the image? Yes. Yeah. This is not going to be the final version. 1 month and 7 days. PM creatively bankrupt. It can only build things if told. So that's, I mean, frankly, not everyone needs to be a solo dev, right? Like, that's not necessarily a problem if you're in a studio. And game jams kind of help simulate that effect to a certain degree. You're always going to have some executive willing to come and tell you what to build. And that's okay. We all have different skill sets that we bring to the table. That's okay. It's perfectly fine. Okay. Now, we have this. We're going to go ahead and save, edit the jam. I would love to center things. Can I center the text here? Yes, good. So we'll go ahead and center these. Oh, but not casual. We want that left aligned. Just the H1s we want to center. Okay, right there. That's the code we need. Delete that. Go back, find our next H1. Actually, let's do H1. There we go. We'll just paste, paste, paste. This is much faster. Paste, paste, paste. Lovely. Kick out of the code. Good. We've got these all centered. I do want to do, I really like what Pirate Software has done, and GMTK Jam as well, with having more visual headers, right? Pirate Software has this little icon thing. They got specific CSS for making this feel like a big section. I like that. Does itch let you use CSS or styles, or is it just pure HTML? You can request custom CSS permissions, and we're going to be doing that today, too. My skill set is getting burned out after releasing a game on Steam. Well, apparently you're pretty good, because isn't Kobu like your 4th game that you've built, Honest Rogue? Like, clearly doing okay. Icon line thing is just an image. Yes, it is just an image. Yep. Same with this. Oh, this actually isn't an image. This is just dash, 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 dash. There you go. They have nice little banners here. The whole thing is an image. It's something to consider. I need to come up with a good like visual. And this is where I need to talk to WifeQuest to see what direction do we want to move our branding in, right? Because black and white with just a plain vector of a fox is not enough for a brand. We gotta go work that out. Maybe look at like Nike. How does another black and white brand introduce a whole lot of cool color into things? Anyways, we're going into ads. We'll be right back. Thanks for hanging out with us. It's been such a joy having you all here. Thank you. I hope this is helpful to you. If there's something we could do that is more helpful, let me know. I'd be interested in hearing about it. Okay, welcome back. Thanks for appreciating my unique skill set. I mean, at least the game is out. My burnout occurs 2 days after I've started. It does for me too. I'm just insane. Burnout is such a huge problem. It happens to me almost as soon as I get forced into a routine. 9 to 5s in the office absolutely decimated me. I can totally understand that. Yeah. Groves Keeper, thank you so much for the follow. Yeah, I hear you, Quantic, and I see you online at all hours of the day, at random times. And I think that's very, very valuable for a lot of people. I know it is for me to have freedom to tackle things as I need to when I need to. That's helpful for me. Key is to neglect your girlfriend, family, friends, and personal care. I've only been doing a bit here and there in between games because I realized that Godot is super efficient and doesn't impact my CPU or GPU at all while playing. Wow, nice, Jack. That's an interesting idea. Like during loading screens, just throw out a line or two of code. I can't imagine you get into deep work mode at all, but like you're at least doing something in between. Like you're getting that daily work in, and that's the key. You have to do daily effort on something if you want to get really great at something and finish it. I could not make games when I was a full-time student and part-time worker. It was basically impossible. Yeah, full-time game dev right now. There you go. It's the extreme unmedicated ADHD brain for me, yeah. I was going to say, ADHD brains are very much like that. You have a list of things you want to get done, but you can't, like, force yourself into an order. You just have to tackle them as it comes. You don't realize as I've been neglecting them to begin with. My solution was to burn out on playing games, so now all I really want to do is make games. You know, that's pretty common. A lot of people when they get into game dev say, I don't enjoy playing games anymore. I just want to make things. And I totally understand that. Godot takes like 0% CPU and 80 megs of RAM. If you've been doing it from the beginning, you're just doing better now. Yeah, absolutely. Making the game is the game. I definitely understand that. I don't necessarily agree. I do not have that brain, but I understand how people get to that point. Absolutely. Okay. Let's go ahead and start exporting some of these images just as placeholders. And then we're going to grab our thumbnail for this, and we're going to replace that 2 with the 3. Drag it over. There we go. And this is the thumbnail. Export. Go back to itch. Upload our cover image, which is this, right? Yeah. There we go. And then what else did we just export here that we need to bring in? We just exported like 4 things. Went to school full-time while working full-time, and I couldn't get anything done. Yeah. Issue is if making the code becomes the game, then you start to neglect all the other important parts that make a good game. Yes, Cubus. And that's what we were talking about earlier with how a game is so much more than any other creative art form. It is not just the code. It is not just the rule sets. It is not just the audio. It's not just the visuals. It's not just the UX, the marketing, or anything. I mean, it is everything that we have conceptualized as a species for creativity. Potentially accepting dance, but even some games have dance, right? All mashed into one. So it's a beast. You have to have a mind that is able to consider the gestalt whole rather than just little pieces. Go. We're gonna upload the. Excuse you? Export this. Oh, it's throwing it into a zip file. I hate when it does that. Downloads. Delete. And then we will extract. There we go. Pick an image. Jump in here. Here we go. There we go. Done. Let me dance you my latest Game Jam entry. The code is the only part of the game I actually do, so procrastinating that is the problem. Marketing is the most consistent complaint that the game devs I speak to have. Yes, and it's why we are such big advocates here of building strong relationships with streamers and content creators early on. Long before you have a game to show to them, start commenting on their YouTube videos, integrate into their Discord communities. If you think it's someone who's going to be a good fit for what you're building, build a relationship with them early. So that way, when you announce you have a game, it will come naturally. That they'll say, oh my gosh, what are you building? I want to see what it is. They may not cover it, but they will show interest. And then that will, probably be able to be shared within their community on Discord and stuff, right? And the more you do this, the better you do this, and the better track record you have of building good stuff, the easier and faster that's going to be. So keep it. Oh, geez. Okay. Build relationships because they want to market your game for you because it is marketing themselves. Give them what they need to market themselves and they will market your game. My ADHD ass has 2 jobs, so I can procrastinate one by doing the other. Insert modern problems meme. There you go. Great advice. As with all things in life, connections are super important to have. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. If you want to just survive on the merit of your game alone, you're going to have a big uphill fight. And I know that's a discussion that happens ad nauseum. People will say there's never been a great game released that nobody has heard of. I disagree with that. First off, you can't verify that, because if someone has heard of it and it is a great game, then inherently it doesn't fit that thing. So you cannot prove that has actually happened. But I firmly believe that there are great games that have gotten very little to no attention. I mean, an example would be one that we've talked about on the stream a lot of times, which is Zapping Bygone. Zapping Bygone is a great Metroidvania. It's not like world class, but it's pretty good, and it only has 91 ratings. This is a very well-made Metroidvania that has a lot of talent, a lot of interesting parts about it, that is well worth being showcased by many content creators. For some reason, only 91 reviews, and that's doing pretty good. That's doing pretty good for an indie game, to be frank. Sundown's game, Feathered Serpent. What's it sitting at right now? I wouldn't describe Feathered Serpent as like an all-time great game either, but it's certainly a good one and something that fans of its genre would enjoy participating in. It's only at 27 reviews. Like, this has not done as well as it should, right? It's a good game. It is a better game than 27 reviews, for sure. I think making a great game is harder, but I have marketed 4 games already, so I may be biased. I'm not saying it's harder than making a game, but I am saying it's something that gets neglected, and people think making a great game is all you need to do for your marketing, and I firmly disagree with that statement. Arco comes to mind. Yes, I know you were talking about that a little while ago. Arco. I mean, it's at 600 overwhelmingly positive reviews, so I wouldn't necessarily say it is a failure in that regard, right? I think this is a good game that has found a community, but I think there's more that could be done. Hello, Alex, good to see you. Welcome in. They languish for years until they become overnight successes. Yeah, I mean, like, on the off chance that Asmongold just gets it recommended to him by Steam and checks it out, right? That's what happened with Vampire Survivors. You can't depend on that, though. How many people that play actually review? I believe we've worked out the number. How many people play a Steam game before reviewing? I think it's like 5. Like about every 10th % of your player base will leave a review. So if it's got 600 reviews, it's about 6,000 people have played it, give or take, right? And then the higher up you go, the lower that number is going to be, just because conversion rates always get lower the bigger the audience is. Trash of the Titans. Yeah, is that one not performing very well? 166 reviews, which is still pretty good. Maybe not good enough to pay for the studio that clearly made this. This is probably not a solo dev thing. But, I mean, it's brutal. The competition is rough. The word got out that it was failing, and everyone jumped to promote it. There you go. Around 35 people who play a review. Interesting, Honest Rogue. Are those your numbers? Trash of the Titans is great, by the way. The gameplay for Arco was very whelming. Interesting. I heard fantastic things from a lot of people. I mean, it's got overwhelmingly positive reviews, right? Missed the news about Fox Hollow Jam 3? Yes, you have, Alex. 1 out of 35 players. Tot is a solo thing. Trash of the Titans is a solo thing? Oh, well, then that's doing very well for a solo game. 166 reviews in early access. That's a really good success for solo. That's a really good success. Now, it's no, like, Falconeer, right? Falconeer is a solo dev. It's only at 288? Man, this got spotlit by so many big venues. I'm shocked that it's only at 288. Wow. That's crazy. Deserves more? Sure. Then that might have been a demo issue with Arco. Could be. I think it's better to make it high, otherwise you will think games make more money than they actually do. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. So, Alex, the big news about Fox Hollow Jam 3 that we've been announcing today. First off, we've been going through and building out the itch page, which we can find here. This is, none of the artwork is final or anything. It's all just kind of here. But the big thing is the announcing of our sponsors, which are Riverwolf Games, being a stalwart. Thank you, Riverwolf Games. And then as well, Cartoon Coffee coming in as our primary sponsor this time around. And they're going to be giving away copies of their packs for the prizes for this game jam as well. They have put together a sign-up list with 60 free VFX. Some of them are their free stuff, but then there's a lot of stuff in here that is unique to this jam that has not been online before. He's been working very hard for months on this with VFX specifically for our community members. So big thank you to Cartoon Coffee. You can sign up for that there and start playing around with those VFX and get some practice in before the jam starts. I think it's, yeah. How much do games make then? Well, depends on the game, right? Like if we go to, here, VG Insights, they give some rough approximations. So if we go to Feathered Serpent, this is Sundown's game. It has made approximately $16,000, right? A little bit shy. Not as much as you think unless you are a game. Yeah, it's a deeply competitive market. If we look at Trash of the Titans, they're looking at about $35,000 revenue in early access, which is not incredible. It's not terrible, though. If we look at something like Hades 2, what, Hades isn't on here? There we go. $33.5 million. So you can see there's a pretty big jump. Let's look at like Zapling Bygone. 57,000. Like if you spend 3 years working on this game and you only pull in $57,000, you're dead in the water, right? It's another case for tiny games like Froggy's Battles. Froggy's Battle, excuse me. Froggy's Battle. This is a very tiny roguelike. It's made $13,000. He made it in a few months. Totally fine. And then you start releasing a bunch of those types of games, right? This is my big weak point, and most game devs' weak point is you don't want to build a tiny game that sells for $2. You want to build like this cool idea you have in your head, and it's very hard to limit your scope down. Very, very hard. Free VFX, very cool. Yes, and they're incredible VFX. I've used them in a lot of game jam projects, and whenever I start using them, people say instantly, oh my gosh, this is hard carrying the polish in this game. Made by Cartoon Coffee, who's an incredible individual, does so much for the game dev community, and I've had some long conversations with them. They're deeply concerned with trying to support and help indie game devs. I'm very proud to have them as a sponsor for our jam. They also have a YouTube channel, which is fantastic, where they do VFX breakdowns and VFX reworks that you should also check out because it's really good, and it deeply upsets me that he doesn't post more than they do, because the quality of content on there is absolutely amazing. It is so good. Just can't recommend Cartoon Coffee stuff enough. There's a YouTube video by a creator of a free-to-play game with 750,000 downloads that made like 2,000 in 4 years. Shockingly little. Yeah, that makes sense. I haven't made anything, but I think of in kid money, so like 5,000 is a lot of money to me. Well, I mean, to be fair, it is a lot of money. It's just a lot of money goes away very quickly when you're trying to survive. What is that website? I missed it. Which website? Here is the sign up. Here is the Cartoon Coffee's mega pack, and then their YouTube is right up above. Oh wait, no. You're probably asking about VG Insights. This is the thing that kind of gives rough approximations of data. Say the numbers you're looking at are high. Very well could be. Very well could be high. Oh my goodness. Is it really the top of the hour? Well, we made good progress. We've got a long ways to go. We need to define a visual style. We need to get everything feeling a lot better, get good borders in, have good headers, make everything look and flow a lot better. Like, there's just so much texture. We need to bring a lot more imagery to communicate things. You're very welcome, Cubus. But that is where I'm going to have to call it today. Thank you so much, all of you, for hanging out. Thank you so much for the raiders. And to Jotson, Too Much Tomato, and Ryun for hanging out with us. Thank you for trusting your viewers with us. And thank you all of you for hanging around. Thank you for the follows. Appreciate all of you. Update the bot. Yes. Once we have the page up and running, we'll update that bot. So thank you so much, Honest Rogue, Quantic, Cubus, Jack, and Digital Iliad, Alex, Cubus. Keep scrolling, keep scrolling, keep scrolling. Vira, I need to make a bot that like has all these names listed out so I can just go at them in rapid speed. Tiny Devil, Prodigal Son, Karazes, Ryun, Alamod. Thank you for that banner. Foolbox. And Too Much Tomato, who was Tobias, Grin Kitty. We're getting close. Temtic and Daremo, Jotson, Incredibro, Super Robai Bros, Virite, all of you, thank you so much. I reached the end of the thing. I can't scroll back anymore. I'm so sorry if I missed you. Arrow to hit the follow button or sub button. There you go. Thank you so much, Honest Rogue. I am calling. I've got to go take the kid to preschool, but we're gonna make it happen. We're gonna be back on tomorrow, working on the Game Jam page again, and then when we get the Game Jam page done, we'll be doing some fun stuff. We're gonna go hang out with developer Ezra, who is doing some fun indie dev stuff. They're working on a game dev challenge for themselves. Fun developer who we've rated into and been rated by in the past. Great folk. And we're going to go hang out with them. Thank you so much. As a reminder, thank you, Honest Rogue. Like, follow, subscribe wherever you are at, YouTube or Twitch. We are all over the place. And I hope this has been of value to you. I know it has been for me. If you have thoughts on what we can do to make it even better, even more helpful for people, reach out. I want to hear it. I want to be all ears on how I can best support you. Thank you so much.